Oh, what's up, what's up, what's up? Y'all know how I do. Let me get my first on-screen yawn out the way. Secondly, let me give a shout out to all my subscribers, new and old. Shout out to all the supporters of the channel, new and old. I appreciate you guys. I'm wishing all of you goodwill and wellness so far through this, what you would like to call the new year. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to Hain Legacy, one of my supporters who've been here since day one. I have watched every last video. Shout out to you. Also, shout out to Yaya and his family. Wishing you all good health and wellness as well. And just all my regular shout outs, Mr. Skinny TV, Kwame, you know what I'm saying? Star, from the Star Report. Also, Black Dot and Malcolm, from Urban X Podcast. Tasha K. Shout out to Comedian. Why do I never remember his name? I think that's disrespectful, but I'm sorry, brother. Shout out to you anyway. Shout out to all the people that's becoming more aware of Hassan Campbell's bullshit. I'm talking about all this bullshit, from the shaving of his fucking mustache with his fucking wee faced ass to the crying on screen, all this goofy shit that's going on. No, don't get it twisted. The bitch nigga works the shit out his subscribers. So I'm never gonna knock that. If you want to be a fucking idiot and follow that shit, then that's on you. But as far as over here, welcome to the strip. Welcome to the app. Welcome to the shop. Coffee Talk app. Let's get into this, man. Now I've been wanting to talk about this, and I've been wanting to discuss this, for years. I wanted to know the origin of this and the application of this word originally. Where I see we've used terms throughout the years that were self-inflicting, self-menacing, and just downright self-degrading. Also pushing our young men or women in improper directions just due to some of the things we say, how we say them, and how we make them have certain powers that they really don't necessarily have, and influence to move you in one direction or the other. So this term that I'm going to get into is one that I don't know if it's widely used throughout white households or Hispanic households or what have you, but I do know for a fact that growing up, this was something heavily used in the brown community. I figured it was used incorrect when I was growing up because it never made sense. I could never find the connection. So let's talk about this today. And the word that we're going to talk about today, the term, its actions and applications, is henpecked. I know some of the people that's my age know exactly what I'm talking about. Henpecked. Now, some of those who don't know what I'm talking about, let me give you an example of how it's applied. So one would say, here's an example. There's two older women sitting on the porch, and they happen to observe the neighbor and her husband having a discussion. They just come home from getting groceries, and the lady gets out the car and goes in the house and tells the husband, don't forget to grab the groceries out the trunk, because he's getting the ones out the car. So she prompts him, don't forget to grab the groceries out the trunk. The two women that's sitting across the street observing this hears this and says to one another, oh, yeah,
He's so henpecked. Lord have mercy. Ooh, that's, oh my God. He's so henpecked. All I hear is her talking, asking him, can you do this and can you do that? Oh Lord, girl, he's so henpecked.
And I used to say to myself, what does that shit mean? So today, right now, we're going to discuss what henpecked means. We're going to get the definition right now. And then we're going to go a little further. Excuse me while I ask my assistant for assistance. Alexa, can you tell me the definition of henpecked?
The adjective henpecked is usually defined as browbeaten, bullied, or intimidated by one's wife, girlfriend, etc.
Browbeaten, bullied, or intimidated by one's wife or girlfriend, etc. Now this is where I got to go deep dive in that. So that the example of henpecked that I gave you, right, is detrimental. It's also abusive. It's also degrading. It's also demeaning. Why do I say all these things? It's just a word. It's just something that the old folks used to say. It's just something my grandma and granddaddy used to say, and this is what I tell you guys all the time. Just because something was told to you or taught to you time and time again, don't mean that it was correct. Maybe because you didn't see the harm in it, you assume that that it was correct and it was cool or it was right. Not understanding, overstanding, understanding. Excuse me again. The power of these words. The influence that's behind these words. So that example that I gave you of the lady saying, oh girl, he's so henpecked, was simply, and I'm going to hit you so shrewd that some of y'all mamas and grandmas are going to be offended with this, but so what? Because we're talking about consistently men ain't shit, and men ain't this, and men aren't doing this. And then we consistently give fraudulent and artificial meanings and examples to why men aren't shit, when nothing could be further than the truth. Black men want nothing more than to see black women in great positions. My Spanish family wants nothing more than to see their women in great positions. I grew up around a heavy Spanish area and around a bunch of Hispanics. So I do know for sure how they feel. I have Hispanic friends and peers, and have had them most of my life. So what I'm saying is, here you go. Henpecked. Henpecked was really, you know, look, let's get to the origin first. First of all, the origin of henpecked, the word itself, first application, was used in 1788. It was used in 1788 by a woman named Catherine Stewart. And it was inspired by a poem. She refused to serve her husband and a poet some more drinks, and they got into a drinker's brawl. From that point on, this term was used, and then somewhere down the line it became used incorrectly and derogatory toward men who were good men, but through the lenses of women and men who were not receiving the same type of quality assurance, compassion, adoration, love toward the counterpart here. Why do I say that? Because throughout the years, if you've made the observation of people who use the term, when it's used, and when it's pointed at someone, for application, it's usually from a woman who don't have a man, a woman who's going through man problems, or a woman whose man ain't shit, for real. So she's upset at the observation of a good man. How do I know this to be true? I tell you all. I don't talk to you because of things that I specifically read, because that's not going to bring you any closer to truth. Without you being any closer to truth, you are no step closer to being of the wiser. So when I speak to you, it's because we are on the same living playing field. Remember that. I'm not above or better than you in some aspects. Some aspects. Very little. But some. So what I'm saying to you is, I've been in a situation to where I've been, that title or that term has been applied to me. I've seen it applied to me from a group of older women before. I've seen it asked and applied from my grandma before. But in the same sense, like I tell everyone, just because I heard some stuff growing up and people were saying things to me, don't mean that that shit was true either. I had to do research and footwork to find out what was real in my reality. You see, your reality is your reality until you share it with someone else and it becomes your, as in you and someone else's reality shared. Whether it be a peer, a friend, an aunt, uncle, cousin, significant other, until it's shared, it's simply only your reality that you're looking at. So here we have it, to where these women are looking at situations, and if there's a jealousy that sets in. See, the innocent part was the woman could have been in a hurry to get into the house, because I noticed that when I'm out grocery shopping and we come back, sometimes the family got to use the bathroom bad. They got to get out the car. Boo, 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 boo. They straight to the toilet. You feel me? And I'm picking in the groceries. It's not a burden. You live here, right? You were out grocery shopping with the family, right? You help put the shit in the cart. You help walk around the store with it. You help put the shit in the car at the store. Why would you not help bring the shit in the house? So the fact that they used that there was one of those applications, and when I'm talking about it, it's used to make the man look little, look smaller than what he really is. Because in actuality, the man was getting the groceries out of the car, and she was in a hurry, and before she had a chance to get back, just in case he might forget, because I've done this. I noticed that somebody that had came in, used the bathroom, was finished, and I'm straight to the bathroom too. I come back, lock the door, and forgot a bag or two in the car that was in the trunk. It wasn't initially in my eyesight. So I understand what that vision was. Or you will see a male who believes in lifting his woman, be it gifts or whatever it is, not tricking, because if you have a woman and you guys are in that particular type of a situation where you're bonding and you're building in that block space, then you're not tricking, he ain't simping, and she ain't prostituting. So let's clear up that. So you'll see that, and we've seen that growing up. Henpecked. Girl, he henpecked. Why he henpecked? Because you ain't got no man? So he henpecked because he over there on his porch rubbing his wife's feet? Because they didn't have a bad day at work. They were off. You don't know this. They make good income. They were off. They relaxing. This really foreplay for them. They sit on the porch, he rubbing their feet, they sipping wine, smoking joints, about to go in the house and tear the fucking walls down. But your nosy nothing ass, because your husband ain't rubbing your crusty, bunioned up ass feet, your back of the musty neck ass over here, you mad because you got fucking fish grease all up on your fucking fingernails and shit, and your husband is over there drunk or high or whatever the fuck he doing that ain't got shit to do with you. So you use terms to bring down the good men. Now let me tell you what you do and what you're doing to the young women and young men in your atmosphere, though, because the young men and young women in your atmosphere is now taking in what you're saying. Be it you're talking to them or not, they're absorbing and analyzing. Trust me, because that's what children do. You've been a child before, so you know. Quit acting the fucking stupid. They're taking this in. What do the girl visualize? Oh, well, shit. That must not be what a good man is. So if that's what not a good man is, then Pop or Big Dad or whoever the person is on this end who be smacking them up and drinking and working hard to be dirty every day, and, oh, that's a good man. She'll start to lean toward guys like that, especially if your background and your family ain't putting you in influential situations to where you can be around quality people to get a better visual, to know that your family is not giving you the best education whole-roundedly as possible. Now, what is it doing to the males? To the young males, he thinks that, oh, if I rub my girl's feet, I'm soft. If I help her pick her bag up, I'm weak. If I hug her in public, oh, I'm simping. Because of the distorted messaging coming from the homes. And the older people using some of these terms that we kind of carry on and use and don't understand the messaging behind this shit. Now, don't get me wrong. Is there a man that fits the description of henpecked? I'm pretty sure there are. I know a couple. But they're henpecked by definition of what the word says. So let's hear it once more, as my assistant lends us assistance.
Alexa, can you tell me the definition of henpecked?
Here's something I found on dictionary.com. The adjective henpecked is usually defined as browbeaten, bullied, or intimidated by one's wife, girlfriend, etc.
Browbeaten, bullied, or intimidated by one's wife or girlfriend, etc. So, there are men that are, by that definition. But when you think about it in retrospect, that's another one of them words that really, although it's written for you on paper, it really don't exist. Think about what I'm saying to you. What I'm telling you is, things only exist and hold weight and consequence in your life because you allow it to. You recognize it. You let the definition recognize itself. It programs you to over, under, and understand the word that definition is applying to. And upon hearing this over and over and over again, you become trained, programmed, indoctrinated into a belief, which is just an admission of something you don't know, again, and you carry this shit out. You manifest it. Because now you got these young men carrying these characteristics, whether you see it or not, you think it's cute. If his girlfriend, when they start to come into adolescence, he don't want to walk his girl home, you back him up. I've heard young parents, I've heard old parents say that. Well, the girl, well, she gone now. Somebody might ask, did you want to walk her home or something? No. And then the mom will back it up. The woman will back it up and say, yeah, that's right, you ain't help her get over here. Shoot, what her parents said, you ain't give her the bus fare to get here. I thought you wanted the best for your son or your daughter. See, we gotta watch what we be saying. Quit saying shit that don't make sense. The word even sounds stupid. Henpecked. henpecked. You would figure that the person observed hens and in some particular action or another applied that to humans through an action that they would perceive. But that's obviously not the case, as we've just seen, as I've given you the notes. See, a lot of what's wrong with our kids and our youth and our young people is because we fail to continue to educate ourselves as if the 12th grade of public governmental indoctrination was enough to carry you for the rest of your life, and that was all you would ever need to better yourself, to heighten yourself. And that's where the failure comes in at. I need you all to be accountable now. Yeah. A lot of these young people are doing reckless shit. This is learned behavior. Make no mistakes about that. Through media, television, and radio, and the allowance of our people, our households, the allowance for the shit. You see, because we want to complain about the shit, but you turn on the videos. You want to complain about the shit, but that's the first thing you turn on when you get in the car. You want to complain about the shit, but that's the first thing you put on the tube for them to watch. You want to complain about the shit, but those are the particular video games you choose to purchase for the children. You want to complain about the shit, but you entertain the shit. Make up your mind, you want better or you don't want better. Most of y'all don't want better when you sit down and really think about the habits and the way that you go about doing things. You'll see that when you really look at yourself critically in the mirror, you really don't want better for yourself. You're comfortable where you're at. Quit calling these good men henpecked because you mad. A man always over there working on his house. You don't even know. Him and his wife own their house. So working on it is a hobby. Keeping the fences together, the paint good, the grass groomed, the bushes trimmed, the asphalt nice. Keeping the driveway washed down. I heard somebody ask me, why are you washing the driveway? Because it's fucking dirty. Cars parked here. Those cars drop shit and leak oil and this and that. We have a small dog. He poops. So you can't just pick it up and sweep it up. Once you do that, at least once or twice a week, wash the driveway down. You have children running up and playing in the driveway. Although you may not see a turd, it don't mean that there's no turd remnants because you just simply swept it up. So you're going to quit calling these men that are standing and being men henpecked because you don't know or cannot recognize a man, because a lot of you women don't want to admit that a lot of the ways that you are was not because of the man or the men that you became later entangled with. It was because of the men that you grew up around or lack thereof. You hear what I'm saying? You don't know what a good man look like because you've never seen one, just like the men you keep talking about. They ain't seen none because wasn't no man in the house. Some of y'all had men and fathers in the house, and when we was growing up, a lot of this was going on. But the man that was in the house, still, whether he was a not violent or a good guy or not, if he wasn't further in education and constantly giving new ideas and constantly bringing new things for the children to do, and the wife or the woman and the household itself, as building takes place, then you don't know what men is. Accountability, that's all I'm saying. Henpecked. Get that shit out of here. I'll be back, man, because I got a couple things to talk to y'all about. Coffee Talk ass. Welcome to the strip. Welcome to the app. Welcome to the shop, the coffee shop. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Get your permanent seat in the coffee shop. It's better than the barbershop talk, because it's real. I'll be right back, y'all.